बता दो गुरु माँ को एड्रेस भेज दिया हाँ मुझे मेरे आपको अपडेट कर दो फोन कर
हाँ
क्या कहता है
So as everyone's coming, yeah, and YouTube has started. Yeah.
इसको अपग्रेड कर दो इसको क्या कहते हैं
Software.
सॉफ्टवेयर अपग्रेड ओ कृष्ण कहाँ गए शशि हैं तो नहीं
Must be there. He's not connected to audio yet.
Yes. You have to have it. Oh, you see the gallery.
Everyone will come. It's on gallery view.
Okay.
As every people come on, we don't do it. I need to tell Miraj to let me send a link for YouTube for Miraj.
You भेजा नहीं महाराज को YouTube?
I just started live, so I just did it.
वो क्या हुआ टेलीफोन नंबर का?
They haven't done anything. You want the fan on?
थोड़ा बढ़ा दो थोड़ा.
They haven't responded on it. I
know.
I stopped the payment. I told them I wanted a refund. The same thing they did that other time.
Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. Shashi connecting to audio.
Maybe he hasn't hit the button that says what he wants.
भेज दिया था इंडिया वालों को रिमाइंडर यहाँ वालों को मैं भेजना मत भूल गया हूँ local people the program starts 7:30 I forgot to
They should all know now.
Yeah, it's going on for almost 2 months or more
I didn't even read the programs as March.
but we're not doing Friday program we started lately
oh no you're right we started next week we'll have to do it but will we do normal program because I won't be able to do YouTube and all that I'll be driving
let's see what Mr. Temple can do it
he can't do YouTube
why not
I don't know
we don't know we can find out yeah
huh
we can ask him find out
I'll have to control it because I won't be able to do it
7:28 Maharaj is to come too and Sandhika is supposed to be chanting leading the
yeah but yeah I know it but yes said he doesn't know if he'll be back up so I asked Big if he'll be back up
not back up Maharaj the responder
yeah
come on people come on Sandhika Prabhu 29 no one is here Sandhika Prabhu is here okay okay Sandhika Prabhu we got 1 more minute to go
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna where is Mushik
Hamza is somewhere here. Just enter into home.
Okay.
So he'll be your backup or not backup,
Responder.
responder.
Nandam.
Huh?
I want Abhishek Prabhu is there.
He's not here. He's traveling today.
Maybe he will. He said he will join, but
He
I don't.
doesn't. He told me he won't be able to join. Me does for Kirtan part.
Then you are my backup, Manjuba.
Me, Daddy, he said to find someone else.
Anyway, what
At 6:20, he texted.
Fine. Okay. Let Mushik be your back responder, Prabhu.
Let me get.
Okay, it is 8 o'clock. That's not 8 o'clock, 7:30.
1 second. Let me.
Okay. Let
Okay. Donna Prabhu, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I am okay. Prabhuji is not here right now. Okay, can you my responder?
We can chant. Yeah, why not? Okay, we'll start, bro. 7:30.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti Namine
Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pracharine Nevishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Desatharini
Namaste Saraswati Devim
Prabhupada
Gauravani Pracharine
Prabhupada
Nirvachecha Shunyavadi
Prabhupada
Paschatya Deshatarine
Aya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Nityananda
Yadvaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Yadvaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada,
Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada,
Jaya Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ram Girdhari Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Ram Girdhari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Sumati Nandan.
Yeah, sure. Yashomati Nandana Vrajavaranagar Gokula Ranjana Kana Yashomati Nandana Vrajavaranagar Gokula Ranjana Kana Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Damana Vidhana Kaliya Dhamana Vidhana Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa Vipina Purandara Navina Nagarabura Vamsi Vadahana Suvasa Vipina Purandara Navina Nagarabura Vamsi Vadahana Suvasa Brajajana Palana Asura Kulanashana Brajajana Palana Asura Kulanasana Nanda Godhana Rakovala Nanda Godhana Rakovala Govinda Madhava Navanita Tashkara Govinda Madhava Navanita Tashkara Sundara Nanda Gopala Sundara Nanda Gopala Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Basanara Rasa Rasika Kripamoya Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Basanara Rasa Rasika Kripamoya Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Bhakti Vinodashraya Bhakti Vinodashraya Yasomati Nandana Braja Varanagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yasomati Nandana Braja Varanagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jai Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jai Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan. Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan. Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavan. Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavan. Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jai Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jai Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. Jai Jai Radha Natabare, Radha Natabare, Radhe Radha Natabare Radha Natabare Radhe. Jaya Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai, Jaya Gora Nitai, Jaya Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai, Jaya Gora Nitai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Nittai Gora, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gora, Hari Bol, Nittai Gora, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gora, Hari Bol. जय श्री श्री राधा नटवर भगवान की जय निताय गौर सुंदर भगवान की जय शिल प्रभुपाद की जय समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल हरे कृष्ण थैंक यू
Thank you, Prabhu. Can you read the translation, Prabhu?
Yeah, sure. Lord Krishna is the beloved son of Mother Yashoda, the transcendental lover in the land of Vraja, the delight of Gokula, Khana, a nickname of Krishna, the wealth of the lives of the gopis. He steals the mind of even Cupid and punishes the Kaliya serpent. These pure holy names of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastimes. Krishna is the Lord of the 12 forests of Vraja. He is ever youthful and is the best of lovers. He is always playing on a flute and he is an excellent dresser. Krishna is the protector of the inhabitants of Vraja, the destroyer of various demoniac dynasties, the keeper and tender of Nanda Maharaja's cows, the giver of pleasure to the cows, land, and spiritual senses, the husband of the goddess of fortune, the butter thief, and the beautiful cowherd boy of Nanda Maharaj. Krishna wanders along the banks of the river Yamuna. He stole the garments of the young damsels of Vraja who are bathing there. He delights in the mellows of the rasa dance. He is very merciful, the lover and beloved Srimati Radharani, the great dancer of Vrindavana and the shelter and only refuge of Thakura Bhakti Vinod. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, can you hear us?
Yes, Maharaj.
Let me see what's happening here. There we go. Can we share our screen?
Yes, Matt, 1 second. I'm fixing it right now.
Okay.
Okay, Matt, go ahead. It should allow you to.
There it is, yeah. Okay. And here's Srimati Radharani talking to a bumblebee. Ramara Gita. So very nice. So what we're looking at is Bhagavad Gita. Okay. This is Bhagavad Gita 16.4. Bhagavad Gita is accepted by all the acharyas, even Shankaracharya. Prabhupada said one time, what's his name? Can't remember his name now. Anyway, he was preaching in India, sannyasi in the very beginning. And he said, Prabhupada, sometimes we're preaching in India, back in the 60s, and Indians don't always accept what we're saying. And Prabhupada said, in India, you have to preach on the basis of Bhagavad Gita. Then the sannyasi said, well, Prabhupada, what if an Indian doesn't accept Bhagavad Gita? And Prabhupada said, then he goes to hell. Okay. So maybe things are changing. Yeah. So Bhagavad Gita, again, is one of the most accepted by all the Vedic authorities. Vedanta Sutra, Upanishads, and Bhagavad Gita. Was it Prestone, Trione, Preston? So here, chapter 16, divine, it's a Daivi Asuri Sampat, divine and demoniac natures. But please repeat. Dhambo Darpo Bimanascha. Dhambo Darpo Bimanascha. Kroda Paryushamevacha. Kroda Paryushamevacha. Ajnanam Chabijatasya. Ajnanam Chabijatasya. Partha Sampadam Ashturim. Parthamanda Sampadam. Somebody else chant. Don't be shy. We'll respond.
Dambo Darpo
Vimanascha
Dambo Darpo Bimanascha.
Krodha Paurasham Evacha
Koda Paryusham Evacha.
Ajnanam Chavitajasya
Ajnanam Chabijatasya.
Vata Sampadamasurim
Partha Sampaktim Ashurim.
Dambo Darpo Abhimanascha
Dambo Darpa Bimanascha.
Roda Paryushyamevacha
Kota Paryusha Evacha.
Ajnanam Chabijhatasya
Ajnanam Chabijatasya.
Partha Sampadamashrutam.
Partha Sampadam Ashurim.
Dambodharpabhimanascha
Dambodarpa Bimanascha.
parushayam eva cha
Kroda Parusham Evacha.
ajnanam cha bhijatasya
Ajnanam Chabijatasya.
partha sampadamasurim
Dambodharpobhimanascha
Dambodarpa Bimanascha.
Krodha Parushyamivacha
Kroda Parusham Evacha.
Ajnanam Chabhijatasya
Ajnanam Chabijatasya.
Partha Sampadamasurim.
Partam Param Surim. Ladies. Some ladies chant.
Dam, yeah,
Screen.
screen. Okay. Dambodharpo Bhimanascha
Dambo Darpa Bimanascha.
Krodha Prasuyam Krodha Parushamevacha
Kroda Parusham Evacha.
Ajnanam Abhijatasya
Agyam Chabijatasya.
Pada Sampadam Asurim.
Partam Sampadam Ashurim. One more? Oh, okay.
No more ladies can chant.
Damba,
Damba.
pride. Darpa, arrogance. Abhimana, conceit. Cha and Kroda, anger. Paryusham, harshness, eva, certainly, cha, and ajnanam, ajnanam, ignorance, cha, and abhijatasya, of one who was born of, Partha, O son of Pritha, Sampadam, qualities ashurim, of demoniac nature. Pride, arrogance. Now we can all consider our own characters here. Consider your own character for one moment. You have pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, ignorance. Okay. These qualities belong to those born of demoniac nature, O son of Pritha. Baba says, in this verse, the royal road to hell is described. So we're talking about demons in Krishna consciousness. So here's a nice general description. We're going to find all the demons have these things: arrogance, pride. The demoniac want to make a show of religion and advancement in spiritual science, although they do not follow the principles. They are always arrogant or proud and possessing some type of education or so much wealth. They desire to be worshipped by others and demand respectability, although they do not command respect. Over trifles, they become very angry, speak harshly, not gently. They do not know what should be done and what should not be done. They do everything whimsically, according to their own desire, and they do not recognize any authority. These demoniac qualities are taken on by them from the very beginning of their bodies in the wombs of their mothers. And as they grow, they manifest all these inauspicious qualities. Okay. So this is a very nice chapter, a very interesting chapter. The Sanskrit is also nice. Like in your own ashram with the microphone turned off. Otherwise, we get a lot of drag with the call. But we can all chant together in our own ashrams. This is 1 through 3. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Abhayam Savam Samshudir Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Danas Tamascha Yagnascha Svadhyayas Tapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas Tyaga Shantir Apaishunam Daya Bhuteshvalo Luptvam Mardavam Hrir Achapalam Teja Kshama Driti Socham Adroho Nati Manita Bhavanti Sapadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata Dhambo Darpo Bimanascha Kroda Pariyusham Evacha Agyanam Chabitas Partha Sampadim Asharim Daivi Sampadi Mokshaya Nirbanda Yashuri Mata Ma Sucha Sampadim Daivim Janato Asipandava Dvaubhuta Sargi Lokeshman Daivim Ashuram Evacha Daivo Vista Rasha Prokta Ashurim Partim Me Shrenu. Okay, and then, so Krishna is starting off with the divine qualities, fearlessness. Now see how many of these you have. Fearlessness, purification of your existence, cultivation of knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, nonviolence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor, These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. And in the purport, for example, in the beginning it says fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge. And Prabhupada said these are the qualities of a sannyasi. He has to travel all over the place with no support from his society or family. And so he has to learn to be, that Krishna will always protect him. And that we become fearless, practically. Purification of one's existence. This means giving up, connection with sense gratification, which will degrade us into lower and lower consciousness. Ultimately, of course, this manifests in the form of illicit sexual relations, which expand and never gratify one. And so the sannyasi, of course, should not even be talking, with the opposite sex in a secluded place. Then cultivation of spiritual knowledge, because that's what he's supposed to be doing, traveling everywhere, giving people ways to understand, the higher modes of nature, and then to understand the distinction between the soul and the body, and then to understand the intricacies of devotional service. Okay. Then after that, it goes into the qualities for grihastas, brahmacharis, like that. So very, very nice purport. Then, of course, Prabhupada gives a summary of the demons. They're proud, they're arrogant, they're conceited, they're harsh. And he says the transcendental qualities, what's the good? They're conducive to liberation. Just being a good person, if you take that, you can maintain this subtle attitude of being better than others. Oh, I'm vegetarian. Oh, in our community, we're not so loose in our sexual relations. Being better than others, that's the contamination of the mode of goodness, the subtle contamination. But yes, these qualities do stimulate us to actually take to devotional service. Whereas the demoniac qualities inspire us to become more and more entangled in the material world and to go away from serving Krishna. But then Krishna reassures Arjuna that you are born from the divine qualities. And he says there are two kinds of created beings, the divine and demoniac. I have already explained the divine at length. Now hear from me of the demoniac. And Prabhupada said this is always going on. There's always a struggle between the devas and the asuras. And how are we going to participate in that? We see our little local life, but it's part of big movements. And the demons are trying to gain great control, the rakshasas, of the earth in different ways like that, influencing. So how are we going to take part in these big battles? Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Either cleanliness, their proper behavior, or truth is found in them. He's repeating. They say that this world is unreal, with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced from sex desire and has no cause other than lust. So this sounds so much exactly like, the materialistic, scientific explanation of the world, how evolution, formation of different bodies, based upon sex desire exactly. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. So then, science began. There was I saw one documentary, and it was talking to former, like Russian KGB agents and stuff, and managers, pretty big people. And now they can talk about what happened back. And they said it was amazing that after World War II, when the communist government was so powerful in Russia and the Cold War was going on, he said, of course we were involved in, developing different kinds of, things for the Cold War, for conflicting with the United States and Western Europe. But he said the thing that was so shocking was that the scientists, they would come to us with these things that were so ghastly and so horrible that even we wouldn't promote them, And their idea was, was partly just, of course, to find things they thought would make money. But in the end, he was saying that these scientists They had such a horrible view of reality, that it was unbelievable. Horrible, ghastly, unbeneficial works meant to destroy the world. Taking shelter of insatiable lust. I need motivation. I want to be alive. I want to feel desire. When I feel no desire to serve Krishna, then I stimulate my stupid, lusty activities, and I try and pretend that is satisfying me. And absorbed in conceit of pride and false prestige, the demoniac, thus illusioned, are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. They believe that to gratify the senses is the prime necessity for human civilization. Thus, until the end of life, their anxiety is immeasurable, bound by a network of hundreds of thousands of desires, and absorbed in lust and anger. They secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. The demoniac person thinks, so much is my wealth today, I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemies will also be killed. Ishwara aham bogi, siddhaham balavan sukhi. You can chant 16 rounds of that mantra every day. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity, and thus I shall enjoy. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Thus, perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, they become too strongly attached to the sense enjoyment and fall down into hell. See, more likely they're dragged there. We are dragged there because of our attachments. Self-complacent, always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige. Sometimes they perform sacrifice in name only, not following rules and regulations. Bewildered by false ego, pride, lust, anger, they become envious of God who is situated in their own bodies, the bodies of others, and blaspheme against real religion. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence and various demoniac species of life. They attain repeated birth amongst the demons. Of such kunti, such people can never approach me, and gradually as they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. There are 3 gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up. They lead for the degradation of the soul. So, Upanishad says we have to understand the advantages of spiritual life. We have to hear about Brahma's darshan of Vaikuntha. We have to see about Chaitanya Charitamrita, hearing stories of devotees, devotional service. But at the same time, we also have to hear about the dangers of material life. Not to stimulate them, but to give them up. That's the whole point. If we just hear about how good spiritual life is, we will become sahajiyas. Sahajiyas, yes. And if we just hear about how bad the material world is, we'll become mayavadis. Yes, mayavadis. So we devotees are sahajavadis. We are sahajavadis. Okay? Or mayajiyas. Yes, but we tend towards hearing about, Krishna and Vrindavan, and Krishna playing with his friends and having, wonderful sporting activity. And they have to go home with the cows and have supper. But boy, tomorrow they're going to go back and take the games up where they were. And then the gopis and the cowherd boys, they also play games. They have board games and all kinds of things. And the demons come. But the demons come, I guess in Gokula, to enhance these things. So anyway, we're talking about demons in Krishna consciousness. But that's what they are. They're not like make-believe demons exactly. Of course, devotees, they can see that they're all there for a certain reason at Vrindavan. They're not ordinary demons. But looking at them, they are real monsters. They do really horrible things. And so when Krishna kills them, it's very nice, very nice. So of course, we want Krishna to kill all the demons in our hearts, you know, so we can be competent to take part in the work in Goloka. A lot of work to do. So any questions or comments from anybody?
Maharaj, so how we get rid of these demons?
Well, this is the first principle, is how do we get rid of the demons? How do we know? How do we, we're starting with this idea that I will become pure, I will know, I will, yeah. But the basic principle is that we're like 3-year-old children. We have some free will, we have some ability, but we are totally dependent. Not totally, but you know, like that, little children. And so they have to be under either their, you know, they have 2 big sisters, Maya and Radha. Okay, so you can take your choice which big sister you want to be under the care of. And Maya is always inspiring you to do naughty things and everything else, and so forth, so on. And Radha is always inspiring you to do good things, you know, positive work. You know, you can do wonderful things. Yeah, yeah. So that's the basic principle: is that we try whatever, you know, by whatever processes are there, whatever mercy Krishna gives us, we take advantage of it. That's the main thing. Main thing. Krishna comes, he gives the scriptures. Okay, he gives guru. Okay, he gives, you know, so many things. You know, Paramatma. From the Paramatma, he gives the 3 modes. You know, so the main thing we have to do is just take advantage of whatever authoritative instructions we're receiving from Krishna, like that. And of course, they come from the Acharya, from Lord Chaitanya. And therefore, the basic principle is we can get free from these things by chanting Hare Krishna. That's the Yuga Dharma, as much as possible.
Thank you, Maharaj. Any other question for Maharaj? Comments? Anything?
Maharaj, this is Ram Giridhari here. I had a question. This has been something that I've been thinking about between purity versus perfection in Krishna consciousness. I mean, in material world, everything we are talking about perfection, but always Prabhupada is giving importance to purity, even though we may have apparent imperfection. So we have seen all these demons had so much of imperfections and even impurity, for that matter, just because of a little little endeavor or little exposure to Krishna consciousness, Krishna's mercy, they got delivered. So in our personal lives, we have to go through all sorts of purification for all our impurities. So I'm sure that demon are special people because it's for Leela. But from a Siddhanta standpoint, I want to understand the difference. I mean, if we are pure with imperfection, are we still accepted by Krishna?
Can you say the very, very last sentence a little slower?
Sorry?
Yeah. Your voice is breaking up a little bit. But the very last sentence, when you summarized everything, can you kind of say that a little clearer?
Yeah, I was saying that we have. I mean, will Krishna accept if we are pure and along with imperfection? Because I was trying to differentiate between perfection versus purity. So I'm saying if we are trying to be pure but still may have imperfections, so how are we looked at by the Supreme Lord?
Aho Bakiyan Stanakala Kutam Jigang Sayai Payayad Apyasadi Lebegatim Datri Lebegatim Datri Toyam Kambala Vadayavam Sharam Vrajema. Do you know that verse?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, that's your answer. Uddhava says. Of course, there are many answers, yeah. But that's Uddhava in that dialogue. He's saying, how can I take shelter of one more merciful? You know, okay, Daya is Satya. Daya is Satya. Daya and Satya. Mercy and truth. Yeah. In the end, Harish Chandra comes to the conclusion the essence of justice is not truth. It's mercy. And that's the Christians also get into that too. You know, And that's science doesn't do that. Okay. But that's the basic principle. Is that yes, ultimately Krishna is more merciful than he is, honest or truthful in that sense. Yeah. So, from our side, we try and be as pure as we can. But the real thing is the purity of desire. We try and really try and really serve Krishna. Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah. So there's hope. There's hope for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, that question for Maharaj.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisance of all good stuff.
Giriraj Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, you are explaining that, okay, scientist has a horrible view of reality. Could you please? Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
Could you please explain or elaborate that one a little bit more, Maharaj?
No, because for example, we were dealing. I comes from working with the Bhaktivedanta Institute. Prabhupada established it for preaching to the scientists, everything else. It was a lot of work, so I was wondering if I should do it or not. So I was asking different senior devotees, Rabindra Swarup and Tamal Krishna. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj, when I asked him about how important was the, working with the Bhaktivedanta Institute, he looked at me very intensely and he said, Prabhupada said over and over again for his entire year that scientific preaching is my most important preaching program. The whole, yes, sir, okay. So very important, And in dealing with these people, their consciousness of their own community. One of them was Maurice Wilkins. He got Nobel Prize, and I think it was actually in the same area of DNA mapping and that kind of stuff, But as I remember, I was actually even talking with him, and see, he said that, he said many people in my age group, we all became scientists at the end of World War II or during World War II, because we wanted to understand things like what is life, and we wanted to accomplish all. We wanted to put an end to suffering. We wanted everybody to have unlimited access to energy. All these wonderful things. And he said that, but now it's become terrible. He said now. He said I was just shocked when I discovered that something like 70% of all the funding for all the scientific research was coming from the military complex. That was maybe back during the Cold War, but even still, military industrial complex, are funding the science, And then, of course, what does the military want? They want to create horrible devices which will destroy the enemies, even at the risk of destroying the entire world, Because in the end, there's so much frustration and frustration. If you take this to strictly materialistic scientific attitude, philosophy, there's so much frustration comes out of it, so much destruction of the self, the identity, no finer qualities are there. In the end, all you have are atoms and molecules, which are totally devoid of all life whatsoever. You get your girlfriend pregnant. She comes to you and says, "Oh, I'm pregnant." He says, "Well, here's $100. Go take care of your little problem." Really, it's not. Again, it's not maybe the majority, but that's those people who follow the conclusion to its bitter end. They end up like this, and they say it. Some of them pull out of it, and they realize where it's taking them. That there is no. The universe is totally direct quote. I think it was Carl Sagan. The universe is exactly what we suspect it is: heartless, merciless, with no meaning or no cause whatsoever, and no significance. It's really okay. Get me going here. So Maurice Wilkins was pointing out. He was, he's in science. He said most scientists nowadays, they aren't visionaries like we were. He said you give them a stimulating intellectual problem and long-term funding, and they'll work for anybody. Okay. So that's some comments about the materialistic scientists, which is not everybody, not all scientists.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank me.
Thanks for the clarification, Maharaj.
Well, one time Prabhupada was walking along with in Hawaii. I told this story before. And, you know, on the beach like that, whatever, and looking over the ocean. And he was preaching about the scientists and how they've, you know, caused so many problems and they're creating such a horrible world, the materialistic sciences. Because he also would distinguish like that, you know. And so then my friend Bharata was walking with the devotees of Prabhupada, and after a little while, Prabhupada just kind of stopped, like, you know, going on, you know, so forcefully, and stopped talking, kind of just walking. So Bharata said, you know, most of the devotees fell a couple steps back, but he was still kind of next to Prabhupada. And he said he heard Prabhupada say to himself, you know, goddamn bitches of sons. Of course, it shows a couple of things. It shows that Prabhupada was not really educated in nasty English. He didn't know the word was actually goddamn sons of bitches. But he said it to himself. He really, you know, I developed that feeling about these people and stuff, and, you know, really wanting to go out there. But at heart, deep down, he could always remember at heart, they are devotees, you know. I'm really fighting against their attachments. Okay, any final questions, comments, or complaints? Any demons in the audience want to step up to the bat for the demons? Yeah. Anybody know any demons personally?
No other comments from Maharaj. So Maharaj, can we discuss about the Janmashtami program? We'll start at 8 o'clock, and your suggestion was 20 minutes kirtan, 20 minutes chant, reading, and 20 minutes japa till 11 o'clock, and then kirtan, something like that.
That's one time Prabhupada said that. It's just, you know, 20 minutes kirtan, 20 minutes reading, then 20 minutes japa, and maybe 3 rounds or 2 rounds or something, you know. And I've done it. Things go very nice. The kirtan wakes your body up, okay? The reading wakes up your mind, and then the japa then is meditation, concentration, and oh my God, it's all, right away you go again. Reading, this is my suggestion. I don't think at all I'm absolute, you know, whatever. Reading, Prabhupada also should have the devotees sometimes, not sure often, just start from the Krishna book and read right through to the birth of Lord Krishna. You know, I'm not sure if we could do it, because 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 60 minutes, 1 hour, might be able to finish it. But it's what we're reading. It's very nice. And the kirtan, then different people could go ahead and, like, you know, to lead the kirtan for 20 minutes or something. But they could do a PowerPoint show too. They could have, you know, take pictures of show pictures of their deities and how they dress.
Is that program agreeable to us? Any comments on that?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Any comment?
I like that idea, Prabhuji.
Anyone else?
Maharaj, I was thinking that you should also give a class.
Well, I can read also. That's enough, you know. Yeah.
Not only read, Maharaj, but give some insight into reading. That will be, I think, very important.
You know, when people are reading, they can also make comments. You know, but the Krishna book's nice. Yes, it inspires lots of comments. You know.
Any other comments before Maharaj leaves?
I was actually thinking that, you know, I'm not sure we can also pick up some bhajans glorifying, you know, Krishna. Apart from, I mean, I'm not sure we keep them from Maharaj is referring only to Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but there are some.
Oh, no. The kirtan can also be bhajan kirtan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ram Gadai Prabhu, can you suggest some? Anybody else? Ram Gadai Prabhu can lead, and somebody else we can have suggest and see who can sing what.
I'll send my thoughts on WhatsApp to you.
Okay, and then please, everybody else, please give some suggestion. That's
I would like to sing one Gujarati.
okay. As long as
It's about Krishna.
yeah. So that can you send the wordings of it, or we can all follow with you?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any Any other comments?
I think we can work it out in the chat in a little bit. Maybe just divide up and get some schedule.
Yes, Maharaj.
But it should be really purifying. One thing is, it's amazing, you know, from the time the day starts, all over the planet, there's like this wave of kirtan because of ISKCON, because of Prabhupada, just passing along from this place to that place, to that place, to that place, to that place. And it's amazing. It has an effect on the subtle consciousness of the world. But we have to go there, otherwise we're going to burn up our data.
Yeah, Maharaj. So hopefully we'll keep on with right on our Sri Radha Network chat group. We can also give suggestions and
Yes.
discuss. And tomorrow
We can hear about more. We can hear about more demons.
demons and tomorrow Sri Radha Vallabh Prabhu will be talking about Trinavat. Hare Krishna, is he? I think he is here. Are he gone? Sri Radha Vallabh Prabhu, are you there?
We are here, Prabhu. Yes, he is doing the class.
Okay, so okay, any other suggestions? Any other suggestions? Or Sridhar? Sridhar, are you there? Hello?
Yes, he's here.
He's here. Let's chant Nrsimha prayers.
Oh, okay.
Namaste Narasingaya.
Namaste Narasingh.
Baladaladaine. Baladaladaine. Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare. Kamala Kamala Hare, Naga Amudashenga, Alila Ilana Kashipu. Anobenga, Keshavadita, Rahari Rupa, Jagati Shari, Jagati Shari, Jagati Shari. Jaya Nrsimhadev, Jaya Nrsimhadev, Nrsimhadev, Jaya Nrsimhadev, Jaya Nrsimhadev. Jaya Nrsimhadev, Jaya Nrsimhadev, Jaya Nrsimhadev, Jaya Balan Maharaj, Balan Maharaj, Balan Maharaj, Jaya Balan Maharaj, Jaya Balan Maharaj, Balan Maharaj, Balan Maharaj, Jaya Balan Maharaj, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Thank you, Sridhar. So tomorrow we again meet at 8 o'clock. We'll start with the demons within.
Shreedhar will have to send out the invite tomorrow. I won't be able to.
Okay, Prabhu, can you send the
Zoom,
All right.
Can you do that, Prabhu?
Zoom tomorrow.
Huh?
Zoom link.
Yeah, Zoom
Yeah.
link, yeah. Okay, so see you at 8 o'clock, and otherwise we'll be timed out. So, so tomorrow at 8 to 8:45. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you ready for tomorrow?
Yep, we're ready.
Okay,
Hare
thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.